Dear scholars, here is our next lesson, that is 2.1, the clothesline. Actually, it is a poem which is written by poetess Charlotte Brontë Cole. In this poem, poetess is talking about the clothes hanging on the clothesline. You can simply observe the picture over here, how the clothes are hanging on the clothesline, right? So after washing, they are set, they are hung on the clothesline, right? The same way, poetess observed the clothesline and the clothes on it, how they were making movements, all of them the poetess has explained in this video. Poetess begins this poem with happy note. Let us see what actually the poem is. Hand in hand, they dance in a row. Hither and thither, and to and fro. Flip, flap, flop, and away they go, fluttering creatures as white as snow. Here, the poetess is saying that the clothes hanging on the clothesline, they are making movements just like they are walking, holding each other's hands. That is, hand in hand, they dance in a row. We know that due to winds, clothes on the clothesline make many movements. To see them, the poetess is considering them just like they are dancing. And so the poetess used the line hand in hand, they dance in a row. I mentioned in the beginning that this poem begins with a happy note. So just here it is about the act of dancing mentioned. We can simply say that the one who dances, that is happy, right? Further, hither and thither and to and fro. Hither and thither means here and there, and to and fro means forward and backward. So there is no particular movement of the clothes which are hung on the clothesline. So the poetess is mentioning the clothes which are dancing, they are just going here and there, they are going forward and backward. Further, flip, flap, flop, and away they go. You might have listened, you might have heard, if the atmosphere is windy, at that time the clothes hanging on the clothesline, how they move and how they produce sound, how they create sound, right? Poetess is talking about the sound using the words flip, flap, flop. Here flip, flap means repeated stroke and noise, repeated noise, and flop means move loosely. So the clothes which are moving here and there loosely, which are moving forward and backward, they are making the repeated sounds due to wind. Further, and away they go. So making this sound, they just go away, come back on the same position, and their movements, these all movements are compared by the poetess with fluttering creatures. Poetess is saying that they are looking like fluttering creatures as white as snow. Here fluttering creatures means flying or moving creature, living being. So simply the living beings which fly, to which these white clothes are compared, especially birds. Okay, you can observe the clothesline. Here they are white colored, they are moving, and here these are the fluttering creatures, what we say, birds especially. So in the first stanza, the poet said that how the atmosphere is happy, how the note is happy, what type of movements the clothes are making, and how their actions are compared with the birds. And they are white as snow, means the color is compared with the snow. Second stanza, Like restive horses, they caper and prance. Like fairy tale witches, they wildly dance. Rounded in front but hollow behind, they shiver and skip in the merry march wind. Wind. It is wind actually according to pronunciation here. Like restive horses, they caper and prance. Here, restive means restless, unable to remain still, or who is not calm. The one who is not ready to remain calm, शांत बैठने को जो तैयार नहीं, that is said as restive. So just like restive horses, just like restless horses, the clothes caper and prance. Here caper means leap, skip or dance about in a playful manner, just like a newly born baby of goat or any other animal just wander, run, skip, jump, right? And prance means walk or move with high springy steps. So caper and prance, this is the act of just like newly born baby of goat or any other animal, which is just moving, jumping, skipping, walking and showing how restive, how restless it is and how happy it is. So here the poetess compares the clothes on the clothesline with restless horses who are just moving, skipping, dancing, walking and moving, are making many of the movements. Further, what the poetess says, like fairy tale witches, they widely dance. Fairy tale, fairy, what do we say? Pari, imaginary creature having magical power. Tell, short story. So just like in the short stories of fairies, we also listen about the witches. Again, imaginary creature who has magical powers but used for some wrong deeds. Fairies used for good deeds. So just like from the stories of fairy tale, witches dance widely. The same way the clothes are dancing widely. So simply we can understand the clothes on the clothesline making many of the movements. And this shows that the atmosphere is windy. बहुत जोरों की हवा चल रही है, right? Like fairy tale witches, they widely dance, rounded in front but hollow behind. You might have observed when the clothes on the clothesline gets filled up with air, its shape becomes rounded, that is rounded in front but hollow behind, and on the other side it is hollow, and because of that air gets fills in it, right? So due to the wind, the air gets filled in the clothes, and so they are looking rounded and making many of the movements, and to see them the poet is thinking that the clothes are dancing widely like the fairy tale witches. Further, they shiver and skip in merry march wind. Here shiver means shake. The clothes which are rounded, which are hollow due to the wind, they shiver, they shake, they skip in the merry march wind. Here merry means happy, glad. March wind. So simply the poet mentioned the season or the time period of the year, that is month of March. We know that in this month the winds blow little fast, or the currents of winds are seen or observed with the little great speed, and because of that only the clothes on the clothesline, they are capering, prancing, dancing widely, became rounded, and they are shivering as well as skipping. Third stanza, one I saw dancing excitedly. Now poet is talking about the particular one now, that is from the clothesline. One I saw dancing excitedly. The poetess saw one cloth which was dancing excitedly with energy, with eagerness, happily, struggling so wildly till she was free. And she was struggling, making many of the movements. For what? To get free. Then, leaving pegs. What is pegs? The pegs, these are the pictures of pegs, right? Which are used to set up the clothes on the clothesline so that they would not get free from the clothesline. So, what is the poet mentioning here? One I saw dancing excitedly, struggling so widely till she was free. Then leaving pegs and the clothesline behind her, she flew like a bird, and no one can find her. Here, poetess is talking about someone, that is the one type of cloth, which was just dancing excitedly, which was struggling to get the free from the clothesline. At last, she left the peg and the clothesline, and then it flew away. Here the poet said it flew like a bird. You might have observed the clothes, especially at the stormy atmosphere. Some clothes are just flying in the sky and they look like a bird. So poet is saying over here the same she observed, and whatever cloth left from the clothesline, that was that was flying like a bird, and no one can find her. Simply due to wind, it went far away, and no one can find her at that time. Further, I saw her gleam like a sail in the sun. I saw her gleam like a sail in the sun, flipping and flapping and flopping for fun. Nobody knows where she now can be, hid in a ditch or drowned in the sea. Here, the poet is mentioning when it was just going away, the poetess was still observing it, and there the poet saw her gleam. That gleam, shiny sight. Gleam means shine. So poet observed it was shining. It was a shiny sight of that cloth, like a sail in the sun. And sail, what do we say? The boat or the ships, we sail on the sea, water. The clouds sail in the air. So something which float in the air or water, that is said to be sail. So here the cloth which just left the clothesline, at last the poet observed its shiny sight, and it was sailing in the sky. That was in the sun, means that was in the sunlight, flipping and flapping and flopping for fun. And while leaving, it was making that repeated sound. Same the poetess heard for a little while, and then it went away. It went far away, and poet couldn't hear that sound later. Nobody knows where she now can be. And now there is a question, where is that cloth, or where is she? It was a question, and the answer was simply nobody knows. Further, the poetess imagines where it could be. And here the poetess said, hid in a ditch. Poetess thinks that she could be in a ditch. That cloth could be in a ditch. Ditch, what do we say? Drain, bada sa gadda, khai, right? Or drown in the sea. Drown, sink, या वो डूब गई सी समंदर में. So poetess imagines that she left from the clothesline, and now nobody knows where she could be. So poetess imagines she could be in a ditch, खाई, or she could be drowned in the sea, या समंदर में डूब गई होगी शायद. Last two lines. She was my handkerchief not long ago, till the fourth stanza, we didn't know what was the poetess talking about that particular cloth who left the peg, and now the poetess mentioned she was my handkerchief not long ago. Means before leaving the clothesline and the peg, she was the handkerchief of the poetess. But she will never come back to my pocket, I know. And poetess is sure that that handkerchief would not come back to her pocket, and the poetess knew this because she went far away. She might be in a ditch or drowned in the sea, or might be somewhere else, might be taken by any person. Poetess doesn't know. Oh, sorry, poetess. Yes, poetess doesn't know what happened with her handkerchief. So the poetess is saying that handkerchief would not come back to her pocket. So thinking of this line, we can say that poetess is little unhappy about her handkerchief. The poem which began with happy note, here we can consider that is ending with little sad note, right? So the poet is this very good poem of good observation of the clothesline, written by the poetess Charlotte Drude Cole, in which the poetess also mention about the wind, March wind. So this is all about the poem Clothesline. I hope you might have understood the given explanation. Through the next video, I am going to explain the activities or questions given in exercise or pointers based on this poem.